Previously on Eden.
We're running out the door! Because we've chosen a future with no regrets. Now here's the question. Where did she get the clothes? Did we pick them up while we were on the run? Did we just have random women's clothes at our house? You're not a hindrance! And I'm just saying this right now. This look on her face right now, that's extremely cute. You call it fun. This is fun? Yes, it is fun. Have you ever played Harvest Moon? That game is super fun!
And our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the OneManBand is back again. We are back in Eden, and you know what? She couldn't wash her hair or back very easily, meaning that I have to. Hooray! Let us continue on with this story. With that as her reason, I can read. She started to demand to get in the bath, that I get in the bath with her every day. Okay, making it awkward. And every day, my answer was always the same. You're older than anyone would ever guess based on your appearance. So why are you so defenseless? No, perhaps it was because she was so old. I'll give up on taking a bath for today then, Shion said, sounding disappointed while seated across the table. Dude, maybe she just wants to see you naked. I mean, that could just be the thing. What's with the then? She ignored me. I had thought this for a long time now, but Shion was remarkably sloppy. You work in the fields today and must be sweaty. Go take a bath, young lady, or old lady. If I'm going to take one, I want to get nice and clean. Cleaning myself alone won't be very efficient. It's fine. Just go wash away the sweat. You'll be fine. Tomorrow, I'll make like one of them sticks that like you can scrub with. Work it out. Shion glared at me and stood up all the same. Then, without a word, tried to leave the living room. As she did, all of a sudden, something happened! I heard a loud snap. Uh-oh! Somebody sprung the trap! I stood up immediately, kicking the chair away, and reached for the pistol at my side. It was very close, and there was no doubt it came from indoors. But where was the source? It's alright. Shion remained calm and said to me, How do you know it's alright? Ryo, it's this. The radio? The radio? No sooner than I wondered what it was when some static-riddled tune began playing from the radio, which had been left on. Dude, wasting electricity. Shion silently reached out for it and turned up the volume. Music. Yeah. It's the same music we've heard the whole game. A musical program seemed to be airing. But it may have been the same very program Elika had once said she liked. A tender, beautiful, and some ways unhappy melody filled the room. It sounds sort of sad, like it's singing of the end of the world. Well, the end of the world is coming. Shion, should we listen to a different channel? This is fine. Because, you know, we know this channel works right now, so let's just stay there. Shion shook her head and gently caressed the radio. Elika. Now's the feels episode! No! It was the one and only thing we brought from the research facility. Except, you know, from the clothes on our backs. The lone item by which to remember the life lost that day. Elika always treasured this. I know. She had me repair it. She seldom became obsessed with anything. But this was different. Did she have some emotional attachment to it? It was a memento from Dr. Shing Yuji, the man she called Father. The creator of the Felixes, huh? He was an old radio kind of guy. Elika almost never talked about herself, but I guess even she had someone she called Father. If she treasured this memento, she must have loved her father dearly. Well, he gave life to them, so why not? Yet, another thing I didn't know. And it was something I would never be able to hear from Elika's lips. Because she is no longer with us. A part of me certainly regretted it. I should have talked to Elika more. I shouldn't have been wrapped up in my dang job! The doctor loved old things, like that old-fashioned mansion in this radio. Most of his things were supposed to be discarded after his death, but Elika protected this. In a way, it sounds like something she would do. Yeah. But Elika protected more than just objects. She protected you. We know this. Shion softly brushed the radio's surface once more. I'm right here now thanks to her. Picking up where we left off yesterday. She nodded in silence and lowered the volume of the radio just a little. Because we had to interrupt this tender moment for something. By all rights, I should have been processed a long time ago. Processed? What do you mean by that? A doll who never did anything but space out was deemed useless to a project of mankind's fate and the balance. Oh yeah, we were talking about her past, and she was like, oh no spoilers, wait for tomorrow. So, when you say processed, do you mean like executed? Yes, we are ultimately just tools created by humans. A single decree by those scientists playing God, and we were erased. Which should be impossible due to, like, moral dictata, because it's like, they're technically human. So, like, just killing them like that would be murder. Any Felixes who didn't exhibit the expected capabilities were separated from the others and taken away somewhere. They were pushed in a hole. Ordinary humans can be made for free, but the same can't be said about Felixes. Could they really dispose of you so easily? Shion tilted her head slightly. They may have intended to recycle us, but maybe to treat us as genetic research samples and experiment on us until we die. Alternatively, since all Felixes had amazing physiques, some VIPs would have wanted us for personal playthings. Ugh, kinda gross. That's insane. So, yeah, we created you to be one of the smartest things in the universe, but since you're not being smart, we're just going to make you into a whore. Damn it, scientists. It's not all that strange. The appetites of those in power aren't sometimes easily abated. That was actually rather normal behavior from scientists and influential members of society, huh? Raising Felixes wasn't cheap, and it required manpower and labor to train us, so they had no choice but to prune the unnecessary. I was the first to be taken away. Being taken away to be disposed of is like some objects that had to be an unsavory memory for her. And yet Shion told the story indifferently, as though it were about someone else entirely. But a single Felix stood in the way of the researcher who tried to take me away. And that was Elika. I was Elika. See, I should write these things. Shion nodded slightly.
その時エリカは教育機関
When
に
her
おいて
training period ended, she was assigned to a lab. She had the right to choose an assistant.
もしかして
Could it be that
エリカ
Elika
は
was
優秀だったの
actually
か
brilliant at some point? She nodded again. Elika herself had once said that she was put on negotiation duty, but with the outside because she wasn't that distinguished. Was she just being humble?
助手に私を選んだの
It was Elika who chose me to be her assistant. And you overtook the master, much like the student should. Me, a girl everyone saw as useless, and whose growth was defective when compared to my colleagues born in the same time frame. It sounded like a strange story, but it made sense considering Elika's personality, and also made sense due to the fact that this is practically an anime. She wasn't the kind of person to abandon anyone. She saw Shion snared in a cruel twist of fate, and possessed the means to save her. There was no way she was going to forsake her.
その後も
Afterwards,
連れて行か
she
れよう
used
とする
various
フェリッ
means
ク
to
スを
detain
あの手この手で
all the
引き止めて
Felixes they tried to take
結
away.
局誰
In
も
the
処理
end,
されることはな
not
か
a
った
single one was processed. Then how do you know that someone off to be playthings for scientists and stuff? And
エ
so,
リカに引き取られた
once
君
Elika
は
took you in,
エリカは最初
the
に聞いて
first
きた
thing
の
Elika asked me was, Shion smiled faintly.
あなたは何がしたいの
What do you want to do? Oh, y'all, no, look, it's young Elika and young Shion. Aw, that's cute. In a gentle voice as she pat my head.
君はなんて
What did you say? Shion took her eyes off me and gazed outside at the landscape shrouded in darkness.
窓の外の世
I
界を
want
見
to
て
see
み
the
た
world outside the window.
エリカ
Well,
の答えは
too bad you can't do that.
聞かなくて
And
も
Elika's answer. It was so obvious I didn't even have to ask. Yeah. Not just her reply, but the tone of her voice and the look on her face as she said it. All that it popped into my head like a picture.
いつか必ず見せて
I will definitely show you one day.
私と
This is a promise between me and you, Shion. Shion, when she looked even younger than she did now, and Elika when she was still a researcher. The sight of them exchanging their promise, that image briefly hovered in my imagination before vanishing like a bubble.
いつか約束を果たすから
I'll fulfill my promise someday, so assist me until that day.
そのエリカの
I
言葉を
believe that
信じた私は
what she said and decided to study for the sake of
エ
going
リカのため
outside,
に勉強しようって決
for
めたの
Elika's sake.
その時
That was when I got the feeling I was connected to something. She murmured, her eyes seemingly looking into the distance. What was she connected to? Research? Connected to what?
よくわから
I
ない
don't really know. Well, thanks! Thanks for giving such great
けど
insight.
私は目が覚め
However,
たような
it
気分
felt
になっ
like
た
I'd woken up for the
頭の
first
中が
time.
急速に
My
さえ渡
mind
っていった
rapidly
の
became clear. I didn't daydream anymore, and I could do the long
生まれて
division
か
in
ら
my
私は
head.
ずっと眠っていたの
I
かもしれないと
suspected
思った
I may have been sleeping since the moment I was born. You mean your intellect was
目覚め
sleeping?
させてくれたのは
It was Elika's voice that woke me up.
エリカが呼んでくれた
I
から
was able to make it back to reality from my dream world because Elika called to me. There was a snap and the music on the radio cut out. I flipped the switch on the radio, now producing no more than grating static.
りょう
Ryo? Shion was surprisingly close to me. Yes, what do you want? She was looking up at me with her big, beautiful eyes. What do you want from me now?
私はエリ
I
カに
want to see Elika. I want to hear her voice. Well, she's dead. So, I mean, maybe she's in heaven?
エリカはもういない
Elika's no longer with us.
君が誰よりも
You
分かって
should
いる
know that better than anyone.
君を呼ぶエリカ
Elika's voice, the voice
も
you
う二度と聞こえ
that
ない
called to you, you'll never hear it again. Jeez, Ryu, way to just be like, oh yes, here are your feelings, here's your feelings and all your emotions. I'm just gonna stab it rapidly with a knife. I asserted ruthlessly, so she would stop hoping for a miracle. I believe she wanted to hear the truth from someone else's mouth.
りょう
Ryo, something's always been on
気
my
になってる
mind.
ことがあるの
And what was that? Stop playing the question game and just tell me. Tell me, you know what, I've been thinking about this. It's been on my mind for a
本当
while.
に死んだの
Elika, did she really die? This is an excellent question. You should also know that best of all. Yeah. But we never truly saw her just keel over. Shion felt quiet and cast her eyes downward, but she didn't shed a tear. It made me wonder if she didn't know how to cry. Well, crying is easy. It's just you build up the wetness in your eyes and you're sad. Most of the time you wail. Made me wonder if she had ever cried a day in her life. I prayed to myself, if only she would cry. Then I could hug her and, comfort her. Though sadness is something which fades with time, she might not have enough to forget. To meet her end with grief still in her heart, that would be far too cruel a fate. Yes, it would. But is a fate that many of us go to. Well, all of us go to. We meet our fate in our own times.
そろそろ行くよ
Okay, it's about time I get going. Yeah, you just stay there in your pajamas. Take a bath. You didn't take a bath last night. Yeah. Shion's face was a little red as she nodded. Her physical condition didn't seem that great this morning, and she was a little feverish. She claimed it was no big deal, but I insisted she rest for the day to be on the safe side.
りょう
Ryo,
今日
are you expanding the field again today?
ああ
Yeah,
そのつも
that's
り
the
だから
plan. Will you be okay alone? I should be.
今日だけじゃ終わ
I
らな
may
いかも
not
しれない
finish
な
today, but yeah,
まあ
I'll take it
の
easy.
んびり
明日はまた手伝
I'll
って
help you again tomorrow. Yeah, please do. I'd like that. To tell the truth, Shion wasn't of much use when it came to physical labor, so it didn't matter if she was there or not. Yes, it does. She's there for moral support, and for you.
あ
Ryo, you need her. And she needs you. You know this.
え
Huh? What do you want?
お前なんて所詮猫
Oh,
の
she got the agitation marks. You're not much help anyway. Not much help with what? What do you mean by
手
that?
りょうの顔に
It's
書いて
written
あ
all
る
over your face.
そんなことを
I don't remember anything that like that being written on me. I didn't get no tattoos. This was either mind reading or she was interpreting my thoughts through the minute changes in my facial expression. Cuss you and your quick-witted mind and smarts. I guess I couldn't be careless and think of anything strange while we were face to face.
1時間したら様子を
I'll
見
come
に
back
戻って
check on you in an hour. Just an hour? An hour of work? That's it? Okay.
退屈なら本を読んで
It's
いるの
fine
だ
to read a book if
疲
you're
れたら
bored,
無理をせずに横にな
but
る
if you get tired, don't push yourself. Go lie down.
分かった
I know, Dad.
いってらっしゃい
Have
パ
a
パ
oh 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 oh. Have a good day, Daddy. Oh, it's so cute. Shion smiled and waved. Yeah.
そういう立場
Where did you
の
learn
情
such a
報は誰から
nasty
なら
joke?
分かりきってることを
It's
質問
foolish
する
to ask an
のがバカな
obvious
すること
question.
その通り
I
だな
suppose so. And it was obvious that kind yet energetic maid gave her the idea. Though it might be more accurate to say Elika was the one and only person who had an opportunity to mold Shion's personality. I guess that was a blessing in a way. Just like me being able to meet my sister. Alrighty, we go out to the fields. We will tend them, but not all encounters make for happy memories. What does that mean? In fact, unfortunate encounters were an all too common thing in this world, weren't they? We're gonna make an uncommon encounter, aren't we? The fact was now deeply etched in my mind. What was the meaning of this? What are you talking about? Because we cultivated the fields and raised these crops with our own hands, I could tell. Something was different from yesterday. There was an unfamiliar scent intermixed with the usual crisp mountain air I was used to smelling. At first, I figured an animal had meandered in. But that wasn't it. An animal would surely have been more reckless and completely devastated the fields. The change in the field was so minor, you'd never realize it without looking quite closely. In other words, someone who possessed some degree of intelligence and discretion had been through here. Another small fact, some of the tomatoes I refrained from harvesting had disappeared. We have a tomato thief! Oh my god. And worst of all, faint though it may be, I was able to confirm the presence of what appeared to be footprints. Those soles. They were of a small side. They were on the small side. Sneakers. At the very least, it was different from the military shoe sole pattern I knew. I attentively confirmed there was only one set of footprints as well. It was actually more shocking that they were alone. And these footprints were leading to the cabin? I instinctively reached for the handgun hanging at my side. Eventually, evaluating the situation was my first priority. I ran with my gun in hand, concealing the sound of my footsteps. Can't really run and be quiet at the same time. You can only be so quiet when running. My word, what was I doing? Just leaving the crops like that? No matter how vast the mountain may be, how could I let someone infiltrate so easily? I erased my presence and followed the footsteps until I reached Shion's favorite lake. It wasn't likely they were rehydrating after their meal either, so why would they come here? This person. I easily found traces of the intruder. They just left a bag lying there? There was a large bag seemingly hidden in the shrubs near the lakeside. Is that a military uniform? Clothes were carelessly scattered about nearby. A tank top, and these were hot pants? Somebody's wearing hot pants. Maybe we have a dancer coming through the area. Anyway, you looked at it, and they were women's clothes. A woman, huh? This is my mountain. What is a woman doing here? Something fell from the neatly folded tank top when I picked it up. What do we got? It was underwear! My God! She's wearing underwear too! Well, no longer wearing underwear, but she had underwear! At that very moment, just as I started feeling somewhat silly, someone rose from the water. I heard the water splash. It was far too big for a splash to be a fish. I discarded the garments on the ground and turned my attention to the lake. Hopefully, gun raised. And there, I saw something. But what? We'll have to find out in the next episode. I'm sorry to do this, guys. But I want to be a stinker on this one. So, be sure to like and favorite if you've enjoyed. Subscribe, of course, if you feel inclined to. And with the end of this episode, you may not feel inclined to. But you may, to find out who is swimming in our lake. So, be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward. Check out some other videos that I have done. I do a lot. So, I'll see you next time. Yeah.